now, Adam.
Hey, what's up, Sitch? What is this? Kari Lake is in some trouble?
Oh my, no, just the opposite. Kari Lake released it. Well, we're assuming she released it. I don't know if she's officially taking credit for it. A bombshell recording to the Daily Mail, which shows Jeff DeWitt, the head of the Republican Party in Arizona, attempting to bribe her.
Bribery?
Yes.
That's some old school stuff there.
Oh my God. Yes. Bribing her to not run for office. She's currently attempting right now to run for Senate. There's going to be a primary. So we'll see how that goes.
So this is some pretty salacious stuff here. I listened to this recording and I was thinking, wow, this is fascinating. Seems like it might be fake, maybe a little too good to be true. I'm not sure. You said she did a response to this that you just listened to. What happened there?
Okay, so today, or the time of recording this, what happened is she released a follow-up on Rumble where she went to go talk about this recording. She added almost nothing of value.
Okay.
She said a couple things. Which we'll talk about after because we're going to watch the recording. So I'll talk about what she talked about afterwards. And also Jeff DeWitt, the guy, he resigned from office today. So it's like the new development. So we'll talk about that. And he actually released a very interesting letter of resignation where he accused Kari Lake of being the one to try to coerce him.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's listen to this together. What do you think?
Let's do it.
So what's going on? What is? I'm assuming this is our friend.
This is back east. There are very powerful people that want to keep you out.
I know they do.
But they're willing to put their money where their mouth is in a big way. So this conversation never happened.
This is crazy, though. They should want me. I'm a great candidate. People love me. These people are corrupt.
Well, maybe you're right.
They are right. They are corrupt.
Maybe. This never happened. Don't go. Do you ever though? I'll get myself in trouble. This, if you say no, which is fine, it's your choice. Don't tell people.
They're gonna try to have me murdered.
Not either. Today's world, man. If that stuff that came out last week is right about the cartel stuff, man. They said the cartel's operating in 50 states right now, like all 50. You know?
So before we really dive into this, okay. So what's happening here is this guy, Jeff DeWitt, is essentially he's making some argument that somebody, some mysterious person or a group of people we don't know, and Kari Lake claims she doesn't know who he's talking about, doesn't think she can win, thinks that she will win the primary in Arizona, but will lose the general election, essentially. And so they want her they want to give her a job / payout so that she won't run for another 2 years. That's what they're trying to offer her.
They're trying to sideline her. Yep.
Right. Now, some people are incorrectly misinterpreting this as if this is some kind of deep state thing, but this doesn't seem to be that. It seems to be some cynical Republican strategy of they just want to make sure that they get senators from Arizona that win, essentially.
Right.
Because the guy that she's running against, they think is more moderate, has a better chance of winning.
Kari Lake is also a huge Trump supporter, a vocal Trump supporter.
Right.
So that could be a part of it as well. Trump has not had a good history of picking winners in these elections. So
yeah, right.
That could be working against her as well.
Yeah. But the other thing I want to say is, what is up with this Jeff DeWitt guy? Okay, this Booker DeWitt fellow. He is so sleazy sounding.
Slimy?
Yes.
Slimy?
Why is he's listen, doll face.
The manifestation.
How much money can I give you to
He's like the manifestation of sliding into your DMs. Come on over here, sweetie.
Yes, why
I got an offer for you. Why
is he performing in this capacity? He's putting on this weird voice. He's his tone of voice is so sleazy. It's as if he got a casting call for the guy who's supposed to get you to take a bribe. This is I can understand why you listen to this and be this is fake, because this guy sounds so not real.
Yeah. And we'll get into him resigning and stuff, whether or not that adds to the credibility of it or adds to the possible fakeness of it. I'm
Well, I
not
mean,
sure.
obviously, this is a real conversation. He's not denying. He's
Of
denying.
course, of
Right.
course. But these are Academy Award winning performances here.
Well, okay, so that's an interesting theory. He's claiming that it was out of context, right? But
Right.
he's not saying that the audio recording is fake or AI or anything like that.
Which is what you would say if it was faked. Well, no, I'm thinking that it really
Interesting.
happened, but
Okay.
I'm saying this is the kind of thing you stage when you want Kari Lake to look like a superstar. She looks like Wonder Woman in this thing. I mean, it's amazing. It is amazing.
Yes.
Like you listen to this audio and you think, I'm going to vote for Kari Lake until the day she dies.
Well,
That's how amazing she looks. Go ahead.
that is so. One of the questions that was asked, though she didn't give a good answer in the Rumble thing, was this is a recording from 10 months ago. And so
Yes.
why did she release it now? Why didn't she release it back then?
Because she's running for VP.
What?
Come on,
that
Sitch.
could be. It could,
Come
that's a good,
on, Sitch.
see, it could be to help her
They
Senate
literally talk
campaign.
about the deep state in here
It could
and
be.
how much she loves Trump.
I mean, you're right. It could be because she's running for VP. See, the cynic in me thinks you're correct. That's why she held on to
look,
it. Yeah.
the pick me energy in the Republican Party for VP is like it could power the sun. This is the big pick me play. How is it not? Look, and I'm glad we're bringing this up before we've listened to the audio. For those of you who may not have heard the audio,
Right.
it just screams, "I am your vice president, Trump."
That's a good point. That's a great point. And so, do you know what her official response was? Why it took her 10 months to release this?
Let's hear.
It's like, oh, she just at the time she didn't realize how bad it was, and she just was randomly for no reason listening to secret audio recordings.
Oh my God, it's so
And it was just
bad.
like I was just listening to like my stash of secret audio recordings, and I was like, wow, this is so much worse than I remember. And my daughter just also happened to be listening to it, and she's like, wow, this is so much worse than I ever thought. Mom, you should release this.
No way.
She didn't say the part about her daughter saying she released it, but she just said she was just randomly listening to it with her daughter, and it was just really bad, and that's why she decided to release it. And I was like,
Are there any Epstein recordings in those secret
because first
secret
of all,
audio files?
I was like, why do you just like who randomly listens to their secret? First of all,
Who
who
randomly secretly records people?
I know she's secretly recording someone, and then she just randomly was like, "Oh, let me just put that in my archive and listen to it back later," for no reason. So
Who is going to walk into Kari Lake's office now and not think they're being
yeah.
recorded?
True. No, you're right.
It's
This
over.
is very. I would say this is very, very much to get the VP slot. So
All right, let's see her kiss up to Trump a little more.
So what's going on? Who is it? What?
Forget the who. Let me just tell you the what. Let's just say there are people calling around saying, gosh, no, they can't repeat this. Never repeat this. If you say no, don't say, I got offered to buy out. Don't use it. Because then we lose our ability to get things done in the future.
Here's my problem. Rather than just say, let's work with her, she's a great candidate, because they don't own me, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I said I don't know, it's about ownership.
It's about control.
I don't know it's about control. It's about being on the team. I guess that's, you know what I mean?
They want to be on the team.
They want you to be on their team.
But
Just team. You know?
But if they're pushing a globalist agenda, I can't do that. So what do they want? What do they want me to do?
They want you to stay out for 2 years. What? I'll tell you what I can offer you.
why is this guy so? They picked. This is like the worst possible guy to offer a bribe. Everything he says, his tone of voice, it's so sleazy.
He sounds guilty. Yeah, he sounds guilty from the jump.
Yes. If this guy came up to you, he's like, hey, I got an offer for you. You're like, whoa, get away from me. What's happening here?
Yeah, you're going to be in the Squid Games in 2 days.
Yes.
Right?
Why is he so awkward? It's so weird. Unless, I'm wondering if he's some awkward, autistic random guy who's just, has this position, and maybe he feels awkward about this. So he's drawing from movies to reenact the scene or something. I don't know. It's so weird.
I I don't feel like they would say globalist agenda in private. Like, I don't feel like they talk. I thought that I always assumed that was just a selling point. So that's when she says globalist agenda, it makes me suspicious.
Well, okay. So
Yeah.
she presumably is the one recording this. She obviously
Right.
knows that this is being recorded. So it would make sense that she is coaching her language in a specific way, right?
Yes.
But he, it doesn't explain why he's acting so fucking shady.
Well, you can't just come out and say this stuff.
No, you could, but you don't say, you just say in a normal tone of voice, like, listen,
No, you
so,
can't.
like, just be very matter of fact. Like, listen, Kari, there's people out there in the Republican Party. They think you can't win the election. I disagree with them, but that's what they think. And they want you to sit out for 2 years, and they're willing to, give you this position or something. Like this, like there's a way you can do it without being like, "Hey,
That's
I got a
illegal.
deal for you." Blah, blah, blah.
This has to be illegal. This
Um,
has to be illegal. That's why
is it
he's
illegal?
nervous.
Is it illegal?
I'm
Why would it be
technically, I'm
illegal?
not sure. I'm not an attorney. Maybe
I
it
don't know,
is
but what would it?
completely legal.
I don't know why it would be illegal. Is someone saying, "Listen, I will pay you money, or I will
Not to
give you
run for
a job
president.
to not
Yeah,
give
that
you."
doesn't seem illegal. Yeah, you're right.
It seems immoral, but I don't know why it would be illegal.
It seems unethical. Yeah,
Right.
totally. All right. Come on, let
But-
DeWitt work.
Okay. Let him cook.
I said, you can do whatever she wants, talking head, this and that. So the ask of me was, it's kind of funny. So the ask I got today from back east was, it has to stay between us. Is there any companies out there or something that could just put her on the payroll and give her, to keep her out? And I said, well, what are you willing to do? Like, whatever we need to do.
This is about defeating Trump. And I think that's a bad, bad thing for our country. DeSantis is not America First. This is about the final death blow to Trump. And I don't think that's good for our country.
And you know I love Trump. I love Trump.
It's not good for our country, Jeff.
There's your VP pick me.
That is, you look. This writes itself.
Okay.
Kari Lake calls her secretary and says, "Listen, I want you to write up a fake bribe attempt, and I want you to make it so Trump is going to pick me for VP. This is what you write, is it not?"
Mm-hmm.
It's not, but at the same time, I'm not even sure Trump can win again. I don't know that he can win again. I think what it really comes down to for a lot of people, it's not really about like control or agenda, it's just about the ability to raise money to win. You know? If you really want to know, all of politics boils down to money, I think. I always believe that. And even on their end, like what makes them the most money?
I know. All these consultants don't want their payday to end. And I don't want to make a deal with these kind of people. This is a hill worth dying on. I'm not, if they're going to steal the election to make me and our movement go away, I'm not letting him do that. I owe it to the people of Arizona
Or
to carry their torch and their voice.
Or you don't go away, but you pause.
This is the battles right now, Jeff.
You pause, and then you kill your coffers.
No, the battle is right now. The battle is right now, and we don't have time to pause on this battlefield.
You're not. You can't scratch their back. It's not afraid of it.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to offer them, and they're sitting around people that have stuff to offer them. You know what I mean? It's just it's a back scratching club. That's all DC is. It's a big back scratching club. You're in no position to scratch anybody's back, and you've already made it known that if you get there, you're not going to scratch anybody's back. I don't scratch people's back. You know, I've been on the outs for a lot of people for a long time because I don't scratch backs. You know, where are we in 2 years if they steal the election again?
Listen to what you're saying. Why don't we do something about it?
What?
So that we, the people, can pick our...
What can we do?
I'm not willing to accept that. And I'm going to be the biggest pain in these people's... Go back and tell them that. I'm running, and I'm going to be the biggest pain in their...
There's your campaign ad.
That is such a campaign ad.
There's
Are
your
you kidding?
campaign.
Look, she's like, VP is the bulldog. I got to be the bulldog in here. You know, make this sound good.
Well,
Punch
yeah,
us
but
up.
I don't know if she would have had So like obviously, okay, so she knows she's recording this. Obviously, she's trying to make herself look as good as possible. She claims that like the impetus to record this is that she got a phone call from him and said something like, "Oh, we can't talk over the phone about something. I have to talk in person." And that's
Okay.
what tipped her off to record the conversation, I guess.
Right.
Um,
And to eat a bag of Cheetos at the same time she's
well,
recording.
okay. I was gonna say, if you're secretly recording someone, you shouldn't be snacking on pretzels.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Put
Exactly.
yeah, put
Look,
down the
that
Lay's
seems
potato
like you
chips.
wanted to your fake recording to seem authentic. Oh, here I'll grab a bag of Cheetos at the same
Right.
time here.
Who could possibly be recording? It's not me, because I'm eating a bunch of chips in the microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But I don't think she has, so she's definitely like coach, like, speaking the way she's speaking. And I agree with you. I think she definitely released this now to try to secure the VP spot or help herself secure a VP spot. I don't know if
Right.
it'll work, but I don't think that she had the foresight 10 months ago to record all this and say what she was saying because she's like, well, I'm going to release this video 10 months from now to run for the vice president.
Right. Unless it's all just fabricated, which I look, maybe it's not fabricated, maybe it's real, maybe it is fabricated. I don't know. Her she definitely wants to be the VP, obviously, and she's even playing into Trump's framing of the election being stolen.
Of
Like
course.
I'm thinking maybe she sells that to Trump. I don't know if she believes the election was stolen or not. I don't know that
Mhm.
much about Kari Lake, so
Well, I don't think so. I don't think there's any chance, unless they were banging, that Mr. DeWitt here would intentionally ruin his entire uh,
right.
everything
Well,
by,
what
by
does he
like
do?
I don't know. Well, he was the head
Yeah,
of the he's resigned. He's resigned. He was the head of the RNC in Arizona.
right. But maybe he got a job. Maybe this offer was for him.
Yeah, but this is gonna hurt. I mean, I would think something like this is gonna hurt you, even if you go in the private sector. Like you tried to bribe, it's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna hire DeWitt. That guy tried to bribe Carrie Lake.
Look, maybe they gave him fuck you money. They talk numbers in this thing. I don't know.
I, I'm
No,
skeptical. I'm skeptical.
I'm with you. I'm
You're
with you.
right.
Look,
Yeah,
I would have to see. I need some major evidence either way that this is real
sure.
or fake. Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to tell them that.
And they're going to have to kill me to stop me.
No, I know. Look,
You don't have to tell them that, but
No.
I don't think they will. But
Nah, I don't think that's the way they are.
either they come around and try to work with me, or I'm
What would
just
that
going
entail?
that would entail not
All of
telling
them-
layman's telling me you got to distance yourself from Trump. No, you distance yourself from DeSantis.
He's all butthurt about that.
But what I'm saying is, don't tell people that. I'm with Trump, okay? I want to work for
I
the
love
betterment of Arizona. I'm not going to let these people back in D.C. tell me not to run.
I'm telling you that's what
I'm not going to pause for 2 years. The battle is now. I'm offended by whoever these people are that they're trying to buy me out of.
Well, you should be honored.
I'm offended that there's people back there who just don't give about our country.
Do you understand though? You should be honored. That means they know how powerful you are.
Well, I can tell them
If you weren't
that.
powerful, they wouldn't want to have this conversation,
Yeah,
right? You should be. Very few people get this.
I know. I'm pissed that they don't care more about our country. It's all about the mighty dollar to them, and that's offensive.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Doesn't this guy's tone of voice and when he just feels like he's a bad pickup artist, right? Isn't that the vibe?
Of
I
course, yeah. DeWitt he's working it. He's gonna get laid tonight.
get? You should listen. You should be honored. They're trying to bribe you.
I can't be bought. Look, they don't care about America like I care about America. I
Right.
bleed red, white, and blue. I have a bald eagle for a pet.
And she should have had like the sound effect. Of, "Arr!"
Yeah, exactly. Look, this is a campaign ad.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. That's why I think it's orchestrated, because it's just this is too perfect. This is
Yeah, well,
too perfect.
it's orchestrated from her, but I can't imagine Jeff DeWitt would ruin his reputation.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, maybe he's a sucker. Maybe she is using him.
Maybe
Obviously.
they're
Well,
maybe
she
they're
is using
banging.
him, obviously.
Right.
No, I mean using him like as a dimwit.
Oh, I see. The only way I'd say that he would do this is if she was like banging him or something. Maybe then
Right,
he'd be
yeah.
stupid enough.
Get Trump so bad. They want him out so bad.
It's not about Trump. This isn't about Trump. It's about you. It's not about Trump. It's about you. It's not about Trump. Some people that are in on this, I know.
Listen, I can win. Why don't you go back and tell them that I can win, and why don't they get behind me?
I see these things through a different lens. It's very personal to you. This was you. This was your name on the ballot. And I get that. And it's a very personal thing.
Well, I have a appointment coming up, and I have to work on my book.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not good. I appreciate their concern.
Is that you laughing or is DeWitt
That was
laughing
me.
in the
Well, listen,
background?
if you're trying to get someone,
Look.
they're like, listen, I have to work on my book. That's not. That's like a ultra blow off.
It is, of course. Yeah. Look, I have some writing to do.
Yeah.
I probably will rearrange my bookshelf instead of working on it, but you need to get the fuck out of here.
Say, is there a number at which
I can be bought.
not be bought?
That's what it's about.
You can take a pause for a couple of years.
No.
And then go right back to what you're doing.
No. 10 million, 20 million, 30, no. A billion, no.
Really, $1 billion?
This is not about money. This is
Sitch. Really? $1 billion?
You
Come
wouldn't
on.
take a 2-year pause on your political campaign to go back to trying to run for Senate in 2 years for $1 billion? I don't believe that for a
This
second.
is when she's like, damn, why did I start recording this?
I know.
about our country. I think it's disturbing that they would even, that anybody would think this is.
No, to be fair, even me, I'll say this. I want a fresh face right now. For the reason that I've never seen anyone, I can't think of a single person in a federal race who's lost, ran in and won. I can't think of it. If you can think of it, let me know.
I am not going to let these people who hate our country tell me not to run. You should call them and tell them to get behind me.
I mean,
I can
would
win,
say
and they
those
should get
words.
behind me.
I will happily say those words.
Yeah.
Do you think my words will carry any weight? No.
Okay, well, did you think you would come in here and that I would be bought?
It's not being bought.
Yes, it is.
It's, I think,
It is being bought. They are trying to buy me out of running. And it's actually, I mean, all right, I'm flattered. I'm offended. I'm offended for our country. We have people like this who live here.
What I think is this, is it can give you an incredible opportunity to have a bigger voice to fight for stuff than you currently do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to deal with people like this. These people are un-American, and I think they're unethical, and I would be absolutely immoral if I did that.
Again,
That's immoral. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror if I, you know.
it's very powerful people that are willing to, they really want someone different. They want new names, whatever it is.
So they want Jim Lehman. That's a new name.
No, actually, that's not even, that's a possibility, but they're even asking me like,
I know they've got all these new names, and I'm going to beat each and every one of them. Sorry, Jeff. Take it back to them.
oh,
I gotta get working.
I know you
I
do.
love you, but I gotta get working.
all right, I appreciate it.
I mean, I'm just can't believe this.
Hey, again, be honored. Instead of them just them working to beat you, they're trying to
This is about getting Trump out.
Nah, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Trump never came out once.
But it's about DeSantis, getting DeSantis in. Getting DeSantis is getting Trump out.
You're reading too deep into it.
Well, let's see what happens. Maybe my case will go through. Maybe they'll do the right thing.
I doubt it. I hope so.
I do too. That's my first goal.
Yeah.
But they can't have me in the governor's office because then we're going to root out some of this corruption.
But again, it's like,
You know what it
They're going to root out the corruption, Sitch.
Oh no.
All the corruption in the deep state.
All of it.
is? The people don't get to choose their elected officials unless they're pre-approved by the swamp. And the swamp doesn't pre-approve of me.
you need a strong party to help
I think
win.
you should go
Why does she have like a little potbelly pig next to the microphone? Do you hear
This
that?
I did hear that. Yeah.
What's
This
happening there?
they even use the swamp terminology.
Yeah, she's hitting
I
all the
just
buzzwords. Yeah.
I thought that was just the onstage lingo. I never suspected that they would use that terminology privately.
Mm. Okay.
I do you think I guess maybe Democrats go around talking about racism and all that behind closed
I
doors?
mean, listen, I think there's some, I don't know who's who. I definitely think there's some percentage of the people talk about all the deep state swamp and all that stuff that are politicians that actually believe all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're in the
Oh,
minority of
wow.
politicians. I think most politicians are incredibly cynical. So,
Right.
and obviously Carrie Lake again knows she's being recorded, so it's hard to tell like what is true belief and what is just she knows she's being recorded. So,
Jeff doesn't believe any of this stuff. Notice he's not saying any of those
yeah.
buzzwords.
Well,
Well, I guess he works for the swamp, so what does he care?
Jeff is like the worst drunk guy at the bar who's like trying to like convince a girl to go home with him and just utterly failing. And you're like, why are you coming off like the weirdest, sleaziest guy on the planet? Like, has this ever worked before? Have you ever talked to a human being before in your life? Like, what is this?
Imagine it's your job to go around and try and bribe people, though. Jeff.
You think you'd be better at listen, this must be the first time he's ever done this. This is the only explanation.
No, this is his regular gig.
No,
This
he
is like
would
the fifth person he's tried to
no.
bribe today.
No way. Listen, if Jeff was like a professional briber, he'd have it down a lot better. Okay. This is
Oh,
rookie. A lot of rookie mistakes we're seeing in this bribe attempt.
he forgot to pat her down first to make sure she wasn't recording.
True. There you go. Rookie mistake number one.
Always call your target on the cell phone first to make sure that the cell phone isn't recording you.
There you go. Right. Yeah, he should just showed up. Or you look like there's those little things you can have the little bugged like finder things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can bring cue cards and just talk with cue cards.
There you go. These are rookie mistakes. Okay.
Yeah.
You know how
Very
they have
dumb,
that
Jeff.
like that have you seen that thing that's like, oh, it's like a ring that you put on your finger that gives you an extra finger so that if you're caught on
Oh,
camera,
yes.
people think it's like a deep fake
Yeah, that's
or yeah,
great.
or I mean AI generated. They're gonna have something like that, but for like audio recordings. There's gonna be some weird thing that like audio recordings will like mess up and people will like have like a little device that like manufactures that sound that they can like have whenever they're talking to people. Like, oh no, look, it was a fake.
That'd be great.
Go public with this and then say, hey,
No.
these people don't want to, they don't want,
And then I turn my key in my car and I just,
you know.
I like my car.
Tell them I'm not flattered. I'm offended that
Don't
they,
tell anybody we had this conversation.
I'm offended that they,
Famous last words. Don't tell anyone we had this conversation that you're recording right now.
don't care about our country more.
I actually wish you'd just give me a counter offer this big. Give me a counter.
I can't be bought.
Come on.
I can't.
All right, I'll see.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're watching. Give me a counter offer, Sitch.
There,
Give me
yeah.
a counter. Give me a counter offer.
Counter offer is America. Okay.
Okay. So what have you learned about this aside from whether or
I
not
learned-
it's Jeff DeWitt has resigned from his position as some sort of Republican party member or
The head of the RNC
operative
in Arizona. Yeah.
What? Okay, so he's a local head of the RNC.
Yes.
Yeah, one of 50 other dudes.
No, I mean he was in an important position.
Right. Yeah.
Right. He was the chairman of the Republican Party in Arizona.
Right.
Here's his. Well, okay. Is there anything you want to say about the audio before I read his resignation statement?
No, it's fascinating audio. I can't wait to find out if it's real or fake. Or
Well,
what.
okay. So what do you when you say real or fake? Like, what do you think's going on here?
It just seems too perfect. It seems staged. Like Kari Lake said, "Hey, look, I need someone to pretend to bribe me. Someone who's getting ready to retire soon and can stand to the heat that's going to come down on them when I drop the audio of you trying to bribe me and me sounding like I'm incorruptible." So when I run for
Interesting.
office, everybody will believe that I am a saint. You still haven't seen the movie The Contender. You got to see that movie The Contender.
I
I'll
would have been a contender.
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
A guy um a guy basically sets up a situation where he's going to save a woman from drowning. And he knows, if I am the hero, if I'm on a fishing boat and I save a woman from drowning, everyone's going to know that I'm a fucking badass and they're going to vote for me in the next election. It kind of goes south. The woman drowns and dies. So it doesn't go the way it was intended to go. But these things happen in politics where people are like, let's set something up that makes me look good.
Mhm.
And this just makes Kari Lake look, I mean, she's like Wonder Woman here. She's like
Sure.
superwoman here.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move
So
to Arizona just so I can vote for her.
the whole time I was listening to this, I was thinking, man, this makes her bulletproof.
Right.
She's incorruptible. She just turned down $1 billion from Mr. DeWitt. And from the deep state people who blow people up when they don't take their offers. I mean, this is Hollywood screenwriting here. That's why I'm just skeptical. But, maybe it is real.
Okay, so you think you think it's 100% fake?
I think it could be. Yes. I don't, like I said,
What
this is,
what are you leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards it's fake.
Okay. Interesting.
But I mean, if you have irrefutable evidence, obviously, look,
Well, I don't.
give me the irrefutable evidence and
I don't. It's hard for me to imagine that Jeff would take such a blow to his reputation.
Yeah, but a
that
lot
he
of
would
these
be
look,
part of this, staged thing.
Look, he looks like a guy in his 50s. A lot of
Yeah.
people in the politics retire in their 50s because they're all rich. They can retire whenever they want.
Yeah, but I don't know if Kari Lake has some massive bank to pay him a bunch of money to do this.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point.
I'm saying I don't think she does. So
Yeah, but maybe it's
Yeah.
like a power play.
Listen, if we see them together in a year, then also okay, you're right.
If
They're
if
boning.
Kari Lake becomes president of the United States and he's the chief of staff, I mean,
There you go.
obviously we're like, okay, it
Right,
worked.
sure. Yeah, but that would never happen. He would just get some payout. But I don't know. I think that the offer was real. I think essentially what goes on is that there's some Republican strategists in DC who are looking at things from like quote the big picture. And
Right.
I mean, because this happened with, as you were bringing out, we had kind of the red wave that didn't happen. A lot of the people that lost were like the really ardent Trump supporters, I think, including Kari Lake herself. When she lost because she was running for governor.
Yeah.
And, we had a lot of like the really ardent Trump supporters, a lot of the really ardent people that said the election was stolen. They didn't win. So I could definitely perceive of like the setup to me seems realistic that there's some Republican bigwigs somewhere in DC that are like, we want to have as many Republican senators going into 2024 as possible. So, and she's going to ruin it. So try to like pay her off, right? I could definitely see that happening. That seems real to me, like a
Sure.
realistic scenario. And then, obviously you have DeWitt here, who is a total twit in terms of his like performance, which I would push off on not the fact that he's acting, but on the fact that he's probably never done this before, so he's nervous. So he's basically acting as if a character would act in a movie because he thinks that's how you act because he's nervous about it.
Well, the nervous energy is going to be there either way. If they're faking it, he's going to be nervous, and if it's real, he's going to be nervous.
Maybe.
The same thing. It's
Right. So
nefarious either way. Yeah.
Right. So I think he's real. I think Kari had some inclination. My guess would be she had some inclination about what the conversation was going to be about, and she knew she was already going to turn it down, and so she recorded it and talked the way that she talked in order to make herself as good as possible, and kind of sat on this just on the chance that she'd ever have some reason to use it. And now that she wants the VP slot, this is a perfect opportunity
This
to kind of
is the
throw this
time
out
to
there.
drop it. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, because there's all this talk about who's Trump going to pick, and there's all these rumors flying everywhere about who's Trump going to pick, and it's like, boom, perfect time to drop this thing.
Yeah, this is not the secret recording that you forget about. This is a secret recording that you keep ready.
Right. Yeah, you've been waiting for the moment. Yeah.
Right. So what's this thing you want to read?
Okay, so let me read some parts of I haven't sent it to you, but let me read some parts. I'm just going to read some of it, not the whole thing, of his statement. Okay. He says, in light of the recent revelation that Kari Lake has released a selectively edited audio recording of our private conversations, I must clearly address this deceptive tactic. The recording from over 10 months ago is not only taken out of context, but also undermines the integrity of private discussions critical for party leadership.
Wow, okay.
Wow. Okay. It doesn't really seem that out of context to me. So I don't
Right,
know if I
yeah.
agree with that. He continues, as chairman, my primary duty is to strengthen our party, which often involves challenging dialogues and strategic decisions. These conversations are meant to assess and enhance the viability of our candidates. The truth is, when I took the helm, our party was in disarray, financially unstable, organizationally weak, and lacking momentum. Today, we have made significant improvements in acquiring a new office headquarters, legal victories for election integrity, and historic fundraising achievements. Wow. Okay. Then he kind of says that we were, him and Kari Lake were good friends, and it was a massive betrayal of trust to do this. Then he says, contrary to accusations of bribery, my discussions were transparent, intended to offer perspective, not coercion. I don't know how you can say they're transparent. He literally told her not to tell anyone about the conversation like 3 times.
That's true.
I don't know what you mean transparent. That's all right. Okay, interesting. My motivation for accepting this position, he's talking about being the chairman, was that I wanted to contribute positively with primary focus being the betterment of Arizona and our nation through the election of competent individuals. Sounds like he's saying that he doesn't think she is competent in that statement.
Wow. Wow.
Interesting. Since our conversation where I advised Kari Lake to postpone her campaign and aim for the governor's position in 2 years, she has been on a mission to destroy me. It was a suggestion made in good faith, believing it could benefit both her future prospects and the party's overall strategy. The release of our conversation by Lake confirms a disturbing tendency to exploit private interactions for personal gain and increase concerns about her habit of secretly recording personal and private conversations. It is obviously a concern given how much of an interaction she has with high-profile people, including President Trump. I question how effective a United States senator can be when they cannot be trusted to engage in private and confidential conversations. Oh my God, shots fired. Wow.
Wow. And he's trying to torpedo her VP. He knows she's running for VP.
Right. So that's actually a really interesting statement. So basically, he's saying, hey, Donald Trump, you don't want this lady. She secretly records private conversations. And you know what? That's actually a good point. If I was Donald Trump, would you want the lady known for secretly recording people and releasing them for political gain? Would you get her to be your VP?
Yeah. Well, look, it depends upon what the recording is. How good did she blow me in the secret recording?
I mean, honestly, I think the whole secret recording for VP thing, I mean, if that was her plan, I think it would massively backfire. I could 100% see Trump being like, no fucking way, I'm gonna have this lady who records people. Like it would be good. I think it could help her definitely secure the nomination in the primary for senator in Arizona, 100%. But I think it will really hurt her getting a VP slot. That'd be my guess.
So you probably are thinking that this adds to the credibility of whether or not this is fake or real, but I kind of disagree with it. I think this is a statement that you would make if this was a fake, if this was totally a fake. Obviously, you'd have to respond. You'd come out. You'd say something, to this effect, which makes it sound like a completely real scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if this really happens, the Chad move would be to say, oh, yeah, it was a corruption test. I showed up to see if she could be bought. She couldn't be bought, so she passed the test.
I mean,
it's done.
You could say, I guess you could say that.
Why wouldn't you?
Claim. I don't know.
Why wouldn't you make that claim? You sound perfect. You're like, yeah, of course. We test lots of people to find out if they're corrupt.
Well, here's why. Here's why that he might not have said that. Okay. I'm going to read the next 2 parts of his, 2 paragraphs of his thing. This might answer your question.
Is this what you had? What'd you send? The screen cap that you sent me?
I'm about to get there.
Okay. Just let me know.
I said things I regret, but I realized when hearing Lake's recording that I was set up. I believe she orchestrated this entire situation to have control over the state party. And it's obvious from the recording that she crafted her performance responses with the knowledge that she was recording it, intending to use this recording later to portray herself as a hero in her own story.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So he kind of throws her under the bus there. But you'd have
Right.
to do that.
Well, here's okay. So here's the part. Here's a little part I sent you. This is from an article, but I'm just going to read it from the source. But you can bring it
Okay.
up. So this is interesting. So this is the way he says, he claims, this morning, I was determined to fight for my position, meaning as chairman in Arizona. However, a few hours ago, I received an ultimatum from Kari Lake's team: resign today or face the release of a new, more damaging recording. I am truly unsure of its contents, but considering our numerous past open conversations as friends, I have decided not to take the risk. I am resigning as Lake requested in the hope that she will honor her commitment to cease her attacks, allowing me to return to the business sector, a field I find more logical and prefer over politics.
Okay. So she's dropping the hammer on him. She's saying, listen, you move along, buddy, or I'm dropping the sex tape.
Right. Okay. So that could be like why he would not want to lie and say, like, oh, this was like test, because who knows what else they've talked about, right? You
Right.
know, what
Yeah.
else she may or may not have reported. This is an interesting play to say, first of all, if this is true, this is really weird. Like, why would her team, first of all, her team is denying this. Okay.
Right.
But why would her team engage in this action? This is like, if her team did engage in this action, that's retarded. Like, you would
Right.
just put this out there and you would let like the story blow up. You wouldn't try to force him through an ultimatum. That's so stupid.
Well, this is a perfectly crafted move to make him shut up and resign, which he planned to do all along anyway.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, why would you like if this is true, then her team is are stupid because you don't want to add this element to this story. Which, by the way, so I tweeted out. It's kind of funny. I tweeted out. It's interesting to me or wild to me that the mainstream media, at the time of tweeting my tweet, hadn't covered this story like at all. I would
Right.
go on Google and I'd type in Kari Lake bribe, and it would just all be local papers. I looked on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, even Fox. I looked at all the in Washington Post, New York Times. None of them I could find had reported on the story at all,
Right.
or at least it wasn't showing up in like any results. Um, and then it was only after this resignation came out and this claim came out that suddenly I saw all the mainstream publications are reporting on it. They were reporting on it in terms of this guy resigning, and they were all making sure to include this allegation against Kari Lake. Now, obviously, I would imagine the mainstream media wasn't reporting on it because it made Kari Lake look good
Yeah.
completely, and they don't like
Exactly
her.
right. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly
But
right.
but now that they can be like, oh, well, like this thing happened that makes her look good, but also she's trying to coerce someone into leaving their job, that makes her look bad. It's out of context. Like now there's something reporting on it because they can maybe give something to like tarnish the fact that she would look good in the interaction, right?
Yeah. It's bad to leave this more damaging recording thing hanging too because you don't necessarily know what it is and if it's criminal activity she's working to cover it up, which does make her look bad. So
Yeah.
this
So
is
the
not a
whole
good move. Yeah.
yeah, no, the whole if this ultimatum thing is true, then that's really stupid, and I would really question her team's competency. But so I'm not gonna read the rest of the letter, though he does say that he's a proud supporter of Trump and he worked as Trump's COO and CFO on his Trump's 2016 campaign, blah blah blah. He worked for his administration, yada yada yada. So
All right. Well, this is
interesting story. I don't know if anything else will come of it beyond what we already know.
right.
I, so there you go.
Yeah, like I said, I'm still skeptical. Everything that's happened in the story makes me there's reasons why it could happen and it still be fake. Everything that has we've gone over
Hmm.
could happen and this still could be fake. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll see how it develops.
We'll see.
Yeah, anything else or any final thoughts?
2024 is going to be a lot of fun.
It is. It is. I hope the sex tape drops.
I don't.
Hi, you just listened to a Sitch and Adam recorded video. That's right, we're doing Monday through Friday deep dive recorded videos now. And of course, we're still doing our live streams. Our live streams are on Sunday and Tuesday starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And you can super chat us, or you can join the channel. Subscribe to this channel right here to watch the live show or watch more of our awesome deep dive videos.